Hello everyone and welcome back to Voices from the Grid's continued coverage of Ranger Station 2024. I am your currently Green Ranger, I think. We change colours every season for some reason, but we're going to stop that soon, and I'm making my petition to be the Purple Ranger, and I would like you to endorse that as one of two other Purple Rangers. Hear that, Mike? I've been officially endorsed as our Purple Ranger.
Stamp it.
Okay, I'll win. Okay, so I am here with the amazing Claire Blackwelder, and how you been?
I've been great.
I say how you been like we've met before.
Hey, it's old times, you know, just kicking back, just like 1983.
Yeah, like, crazy. So, we're going to go off and do a panel in a minute.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to ask you all my totally spicy questions.
Okay, ooh.
But what I would really like to know about was your audition process.
I love this question.
Because I can't imagine, like I've done some acting in my time, back before I was heavily disabled and living in America. Funny story about that later. I can't imagine what auditioning for a show like Power Rangers must be like.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild. I think my experience was a little bit different than others.
Yeah.
Simply because I got brought in kind of towards the end. Like, people had maybe 3 rounds of auditions first.
Right.
But by the time I was just getting put in for the first time, I think they were just having a hard time finding a Purple Ranger because she's a little older.
Yeah.
And so
that's what I love about her, honestly.
Me too. And the funny thing is, when I auditioned, I was 20. So, like, there's no reason I should have been playing a 27-year-old.
I can feel my bones crumbling to dust.
I mean, it was 10 years ago now, come on. But yeah, I was 20 years old, and I hadn't auditioned for like anything in my life.
Yeah.
I had one audition for a non-speaking role on Nick at Night that my shiny new agent sent me in for.
Yeah.
And then this was the second one that he sent me. And I read the breakdown, and I was like, oh my God, like, I can't do this. It said, I must have athletic build and ability and a superhero look. And I was like, oh my God, that's not me. You know, I'm like, I run, that's about it. So I called my mom before the audition, weeping.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mom, I don't look like a superhero. I can't do this. And she goes, well, can I swear on this show? Is that cool? Or should I not?
I would not, no.
Okay, cool. Just
when we're talking privately, go right ahead.
Okay. I was like, I don't know, because it changes the story. But my mom said, you're not going to get the B job anyway, so just go in and have a good time. And I said, okay. So I just went and had fun. I was super weird.
Yeah.
I brought in like a very standard version of a headshot and resume. It was too small. It was only stapled in one corner.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah. Folded it into a paper plane.
Yeah,
the guy.
exactly.
Yeah, right.
The guy said, I gave him 2 copies because they told me to bring 2 copies, and the guy says, I only need 1, and I said, oh, keep it hanging on your wall. What? What? So anyway, absolute maniac in the audition. They asked me to do some kicks, and I said, any old kicks? And they didn't know what to say to that. They said, yes, please. So I did some kicks. And that was the first audition. And then I did a callback where they asked us all to run in a parking lot. And then, seriously, they filmed us running in a parking lot.
Of course they do.
Naturally, as you do.
That's like 90% of Power Rangers episodes.
Yeah. Well,
that and quarries, right? Like,
exactly. They were like, you're going to have to do this a lot. And I was like, I've been training for this. I love running. That was the callback. They took pictures of us in groups.
Yeah.
They just had us all come together and like stand in a clump, and that was the photo.
That was just it.
Yeah, and then they had us do scenes, of course. I think I did my scene like maybe 1 time.
Yeah.
And then they said, you're good to go. They read off a list of people who they were releasing for the day, and they were keeping other people. And they said that I was released, so I was certain. I was like certain that I wasn't going to get the job. But it turns out I was wrong, and they had just seen enough, and I went away. I was gone for the summer in Europe, and I went away, and they called me when I was in Europe, and they said, congratulations, you got the job, and I lost my mind. And they said, that's the good news. The bad news is you can't tell anybody. And that was that.
Speaking of, were you a Power Rangers fan growing up?
I wasn't really allowed to watch much TV, like really? at all. Yeah. So I hadn't really seen it. And I was like shocked that it was still on the air.
Yeah.
I thought that it was like a reboot.
Yeah.
And then I did some research and was like, oh my god, this is huge, which just made it so much cooler that I wasn't aware. And I honestly think that's why I was able to go in and like be kind of,
goofy about it.
Goofy, yeah. Because once I was in it, I was like, oh my god, this is so real.
It's weird because like I'm coming at Power Rangers as an older fan.
Right.
I didn't start watching until 2020, right?
No way.
Not like what call like one or
Wild.
two episodes when it first came in.
Yeah.
But like it came about by a conversation that I had with one of my co-hosts, Mike, on the way back from a convention, and I asked him some questions, and he didn't have all the answers. So I just said, bleep it.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
So over the last 4 years, I have worked my way through 30 seasons of Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to see how my opinions as an older fan differ from someone
Oh,
who
absolutely.
was watching it as they grew up.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I always gravitate towards the older characters, right? So seeing someone like Kendall or your fellow Purple Ranger RJ in Jungle Fury, right? Those are the characters I gravitate to. So it's a really interesting to see. If you don't mind me saying so, at the time it was very refreshing to see an intelligent, beautiful woman on television
Thank you.
that could kick some ass.
Thank you.
It was very refreshing.
Thanks.
And I want to, and that's one thing I think Power Rangers has always done very well, which is female representation.
Yeah.
And especially now with some of the stuff we've seen in Dino Fury with the lesbian and
Yeah, definitely.
the one thing I'm still waiting for is a true disabled ranger. Personally,
Aren't we all? I was just talking about this earlier today, actually.
We had Harvey a little bit in Cosmic Fury, but now for you, if you weren't in Dino Charge,
Ooh.
which season would you have wanted to be in,
Oh man.
and which character?
Oh, that's so hard. Man. I mean, the cop-out is Mighty Morphin just because that's the OG.
Yeah.
I would have liked to be in Cosmic Fury just to meet the other Ripple, obviously. Yeah, I guess I'll go with that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Now here's a question. How long have we got left? 2 minutes? All right. Then I'm going to make this a quick one. There have been many times that, like, Dino Charge has been referenced since Dino Charge. And it pretty much confirmed, like, the multiversal theory of Power Rangers.
Right, yes.
Right?
Yeah,
The cosmic string theory went insane at that point.
Totally.
Because, like, you caused the extinction of the dinosaurs.
Right.
Or did you?
Yeah.
How did you keep that quiet? When you read that finale and went,
that I was the Purple Ranger?
no, the
dinosaur.
like the dinosaur thing.
How do we keep that quiet?
How did you keep that quiet? Because I would have been like, nah, I'm putting this on Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, I had a lot of practice. I had to keep the fact that I was the Purple Power Ranger quiet for a long time. Plus, we were under contract, so if it's in a contract,
That is
I don't want to get in trouble.
That is
I
fair.
never got detention in school, so
Neither.
no way that I was.
I did get in a lot of fights, but they never caught
There you
me.
go. What? Wow, you gotta tell me your secrets.
I will teach you, Grasshopper. Now, before we end, please go over like anything that you want to talk about, like projects you're working on,
Yeah.
your social media presence,
Yeah.
anything like that. Let people know. Your camera's
Awesome.
up there.
Hello. My social media, I'm mostly just on Instagram. It's at Clay, CLAI, Blackwelder, black like the color, welder like the occupation. That is my Instagram. In terms of projects, I was in a reading of a play in June that we're trying to produce into a full production. So just keep an eye on my social media for that. We'll have some information about how you can help out and get involved. It's a really fun one. And that is most of it. Yeah.
So my thanks to Claire, and stay tuned for more coverage of Range Station 2024.